I'm in the world, but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, hitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They ban Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! PlayStation! Let's go to Target!
We muted? No. All right. What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. Put that up. Happy Monday. Hump day. Or no, not hump day. That's Wednesday. It's Monday. Kicking the week off right on a Monday night. Why do we call it Monday night instead of Mon night? Anyway, different format today. Man, there's a bunch of other news. Maybe if we got a little time, we'll just run through some other news. But I didn't even gather any other news. I have some notes. Maybe we can look up some of these stories. But mainly, we're just going to be going through everything Charlie Kirk assassinated at 31 last week. Everybody knows by now. A lot of this stuff is going to be, stuff we've already heard 1,000 times. But I think it's good to... I'm gathering all the information. I'm putting it all together. Saving folders. I got folders on folders on folders. Saving everything. Videos, clips, X posts. We're going to look at the timeline from a couple different places. I'm making my own timeline on the Obsidian app. I'm trying to put my own collection of sources and information together. But we'll look at a timeline. We'll look at the conspiracies. We'll look at other interesting things to look at. What's happened with the media fallout, the culturally, what's been going on since it happened, and the most up-to-date stuff that we have so far on the suspect in custody. What's going on with all that? I think people are going to be writing books about this for years. I think there's going to be conspiracies. A lot of people are, I don't know, man. I would say I would think that normally people would kind of hold off on the conspiracies for a little bit out of respect, but the conspiracies are coming. So I'm not going to be making up my own conspiracy theories. I've had a lot of guesses, and I've been pretty much right on everything so far. But I won't be making any of my own conspiracy theories, but we'll look at the ones that have come out so far and debunk almost all of them. Pretty much all of them. Except for, there's one I can't really, debunk, but we'll never really know the truth. But, the typical one, it always goes back to one group of people. That's what they say. What's up, Mike? But, this is a weekly news show. We cover the news over the past week. And I know I've been streaming and we've been talking about this a lot. But you know, what would I look like not having the following Monday night show be about this? There's other things. Russia's incursion into Poland, Russia moving into NATO, big move, scary move. The freaking and this will tie into Charlie Kirk stuff, but the freaking Epstein birthday note from Trump. We already covered that months ago when Wall Street Journal reported on it, so I'm not gonna really go into that, but maybe in the future we can. Basically just another news agency has reported on it and they've released the letter. So I guess all that does is add validity that it's true, but Trump is still suing them. So I don't even know yet. What else happened this week? I don't know. I have files and notes. They found the biggest complete dinosaur vertebrae in Utah, I think. Anyway, we're not going to really have time for all that. I've got a huge folder of stuff to go through. So we're going to go ahead and get it started. We're going to go ahead and kick it off. Let me set this up real quick. 1 second. So we're going to start before. And I need to fix my camera. We're going to start it before the event. And actually, I played this in another stream. I don't have the video pulled up. Where is it? I played this on the stream the night that it happened. I think it'd be good that I have it in the Monday show. Mike Lee. I watched the Bill Maher Club Random Charlie interview from, I think it was like 6 months ago. It feels recent. It was kind of recent. But the opening of that, wow. Charlie Kirk, Mike Lee. Where is it? Mike Lee breaks down his federal lands legislation. This one.
Build a website you love.
All right. So we're going to start before it happened. This is an article from September 9th. Let me put this over here. From KSL.com. KSL is our local news station. What's up, Wagira? Thank you. Cat Spectator, Jantix, Farney, and Yaksa all got memberships. Thank you, Wagira, for the memberships. It's going to do this 5 times now. It's going to do it 5 times. Thank you, Yay. Thank you, Yay. One more. There we go. And one more because Wagira got his own. There we go. All right. Thank you, Wagira, for another one. How many are there? Okay. Are we done? Are we done? I feel like that was 7. Did you see that campuses are applying to the Turning Point affiliate over 35 applications. I have seen that. I got everything. Battlefield. I got everything. The number I saw was 32,000, but that was like yesterday, so it's probably easily up to 35,000 by now. He's commenting on the number of applications to have Turning Point chapters on colleges. I think that's a safe number to say. 35,000 applications on different colleges on college campuses since this happened. That's what they're saying. You made 1 million Charlie Kirks overnight. All right, so this is a week prior. This is KSL. Charlie Kirk brings Prove Me Wrong tour to Utah this week and sparks a firestorm. Charlie Kirk is kicking off. So this is the first show of the next set of tours. Kicking off his American Comeback Tour at Utah Valley University on Wednesday at noon, where he will host his familiar Prove Me Wrong table, giving audience members a chance to stump the political pundit. Kirk is the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA, which is widely considered the largest and most influential conservative youth organization in the U.S. I don't think that's even arguable. And he is also the host of the Charlie Kirk Show, where he discusses current events. He will return to Utah on September 30th to do the same event at Utah State University, and thousands are up in arms about it. As of Tuesday morning, 6,713 people have signed a petition requesting that the faculty at Utah State bar Kirk from coming to the Logan campus, reasoning that the conservative commentator doesn't align with the college's value of inclusivity to all. Wait, your value as a college is inclusivity to all. So you want to ban a guy from talking at your college? Does anybody see the kind of the problem there? Your college values inclusivity to all, so you want to ban a guy from speaking at the college because he doesn't align with your values. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And this is the university, parents, that your kids are going to go into debt over to become the brightest and the best and brightest. They're going to go into debt for the next 30 years of their lives to be the best and brightest, to go to a college that's focused on inclusivity, that bans speakers. Utah State University has consistently worked toward fostering an inclusive space for all its students and faculty. Letting a figurehead whose speeches often seem to undermine the essence of inclusivity use our beloved institution as a platform contradicts this mission. You're an idiot. A petition was also created to protest Kirk's visit to Utah Valley University, though fewer than 1,000 have signed it. Gabby Finlayson, co-founder of Democratic political consulting firm Elevate Strategies, touted Kirk's tour as a campus martyr tour. Remember, this is a week before. Co-founder of the Democratic political consulting firm Elevate Strategies touted Kirk's tour as a campus martyr tour, calling TPUSA a content farm for white supremacy, cancel culture martyrdom, conspiracy theorists, and all too often have these mega conversations where little baby fascists get to cosplay as freedom fighters. Gabby Finlayson, she's almost like a prophet. She kind of predicted campus martyr, cancel culture martyrdom. Well, if there's a cancel culture and you can be martyred in it, she was right about that. She didn't prove him wrong on that one. She proved him right. He's right again. No, Charlie's right again. Orem used to be fun. Yeah, Utah used to be based. My job every single day is actively trying to stop a revolution, Kirk said. This is where you have to try to point them toward ultimate purposes and toward getting back to the church, getting back to faith, getting married, having children. That is the type of conservatism that I represent. And I'm trying to paint a picture of virtue, of lifting people up, not just staying angry. Yeah, sounds like a radical white supremacist hate monger. Yeah, that's what that sounds like. These people are evil and disgusting. If you're still a Democrat after this, like I already knew that they were demons. It's in the name. Demoncrat. Demo. It's in the name. They got it in their name. It's not hard to tell. People think I'm joking when I say that the left is inherently of Satan and the right is inherently of God. It's not joking. I can't defend it as well as John Doyle can. You can go watch his. He's got about two hour-long videos explaining in detail why the left is inherently of Satan and the right is inherently of God. Even if people are atheists and they're on the right, there's something in them that is pulling them towards God even more than if they were on the left. Demoncrats, yes. But so that lady that's kind of wild. I'm going to show you a little bit of the video from Mike Lee, just like a minute of this. So this is an interview he was doing with Mike Lee in the week prior, 1 week prior to the event. Mike Lee is a senator from Utah, and they were talking about, because Trump had just called out Utah on True Social. I don't think I have that post, but I think that we read it last week or maybe on Wednesday night. So we did an emergency TDC episode on Wednesday night about this. Trump was talking about the Democrats, the gerrymandering situation like they were doing in Texas. We were trying to do a similar thing in Utah to make, and the Democrats have blocked it. And Trump said what Utah is doing is unconstitutional. Basically, it's a red state that they're trying to turn blue. Not surprising. That's usually what they do. What's up, Grid One? So watch this. This is a week before this happened, and this is the Senator Mike Lee talking to Charlie on Charlie's show. And the main thing they talk about is the electoral system. But this is where I found out that Charlie was coming here.
So many college administrators and faculty members seem to prefer and seem to demand exclusively. Look, Utahns believe in open debate and free exchange of ideas. What you're doing helps to ensure students get that experience. Because if students can't handle diverse ideas in college, how are they ever going to handle that in real life? So look, they're
never going to live in real life.
I hope and expect that your visit to Utah will be productive, that you will be able to speak, that you're not going to exclude you. And I anticipate that once you're there, a lot of the naysayers, a lot of those people trying to exclude you, are going to see some real utility behind your visit there.
That was, man, this didn't age well. Maybe it did. Maybe it did age well. There is going to be a lot of utility behind his visit there.
Who knows why they decide to start these things, but...
yeah, I'm going to DebateCon. You see that? Oh, it's not there. It's down there. It's down there now. You see that funds goal bar? That thing's all red. What are you going to do now, chat? The goal's already met. Should I just start over? Start it over? We still got 2 weeks on the goal bar. You got to try to get it to 200%. I know you like colors and things to, different things to look at. Do I need to restart the goal bar so we could get the colors changing? Because now it's all just red. That's a whole lot of red. That's what I like to see. That's a whole lot of red. Raise the amount. I could do that. I think I could do that. I don't know. I'll have to look at it. The percent will drop down. What an extreme, killing someone because they disagree with your sexual identity. Just keep it to yourself. Do what you want. Okay, well, we haven't got to the stuff yet because here's the thing, Spike. So when this first happened, they said, Jazz, who do you think it was? I said, I think it's probably like an Antifa radical leftist T person. Now, it's not a T person. So, but when I say that, I mean one of those type of people, you know. It doesn't necessarily have to be a T person, but an LGBT supporter, you know, that type of person. And it is that type of person. But he's not technically a T person. So if we keep saying it's a T person, then they're gonna oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. You're wrong about that. But oh, I'm sorry. He's not a T person. He just has a boyfriend who identifies as a girl. He's not a T person though. Like what do you mean? It's the same thing. Oh, I'm sorry. He's a gay guy with a T girlfriend, boyfriend. I don't know. My event's gonna be off the chain. Yeah, I heard you were doing like a side thing, and I'm gonna get there Thursday. So, I don't know how it's set up. If we need an invite or something, but if it's open for anybody, I'll stop by there on Friday. Grid. $50 for 3 spicy nuts. We're not doing that again, bro. I woke up last night and before work, I had to call in an hour late to work because I was dang locked to that to that porcelain god. The event is open Friday at 10 a.m. Not everyone can see color. We need a new bar goal. I don't believe in color blindness. That's not true. That's fake. Colorblind is not real. I don't care what anybody says. You just see the world in slightly different shades of gray. You see the world in 50 shades of gray. I see the world in color. But who's to tell me we're not seeing the same thing and just interpreting it differently in our brains? Colorblind's not real. Barbecue for lunch, 2 different food trucks for the evening. I'm paying for everything, free with a DebateCon ticket. Nice. Where's that going to be at? Is it going to be, it's not going to be at the same hotel, is it? So that was Mike Lee. So this is the lead up. Let me try to get back on point here. This was the lead up. I got to what he said. He's talking about his visit the coming week. We're still doing the lead up. This is Charlie pulling into the campus. I wonder if we're never going to know these things. There's so many I wonders that we're never going to be able to know. Like, I wonder if he felt odd that day. I wonder if when he sat down at the table, if he felt something, like something wasn't right. I mean, of course, we're never going to know this, never going to be able to ask him.
That way I can start to get my mind to figure out where they were arrested. Let's go.
Wow, look at that.
Beautiful.
10 a.m. to midnight. Well, I don't know if I'll be there the whole time because I do want to, like, the reason I'm flying out Thursday is because I wanted to spend Friday kind of having an urban adventure in Nashville. This is JS Urban Adventures. So I don't know if I'll be there all day. Or can people, like, kind of come and go throughout the day? That's probably what I'll do. I'll probably stop in, say hi, hang out for a bit, dip out. It's Studio B, where there'll be interviews and maybe short form debates. I heard he knew about it. See, I don't. What do you mean? You heard he knew he was going to get shot? Is that what you're saying, Lord Spike? Come on, man. But you have to Uber to the venue. There's no parking. I'm a walker. I've been walking my whole life. I'll walk there. No, I'll probably Uber to the area and then walk around I'll be walking everywhere. We got a studio. I heard he knew about it. I don't know.
Look at that. Just give him a little taste.
All right. IVF twins. All right, so that's the lead up. Stage is set. Pulls up, walking out, throwing the hats. He's walking to the chair. Urban Adventures equals hot milk and peanuts from now on. Oh, yeah, I was telling the story anybody why I was late for work and I was stuck to the toilet. And I was like, man, why is my stomach so jacked up? I totally forgot about the night before. And then I remembered and I was like, oh, that's why. That's why I'm stuck to this thing right now. Why did you? Let's not, I don't care about that. I don't care about that side drama, Chuck. Save that for, go on his channel and ask him that. All right, so we're going to look at the timeline. Now, this is NPR's timeline. We don't have time to go over all the different timelines and compare and contrast them. That's why I'm making my own timeline, but it's not complete yet. Again, this is all, we've had 5 days to watch this and absorb it all. I'm trying to gather up all the stories and stuff as they come out because we know a year from now, a lot of stuff's going to disappear and it's going to be hard to find it. So I'm saving it as it's coming out. I'm making folders. I'm making an Obsidian note, trying to figure out how to use that. And I'm making my own timeline where I'm using all the different sources to get the most cohesive timeline, using videos and times in videos, timestamps in videos and things like that. But this is just a basic timeline from NPR. In less than 36 hours, 33 to be precise, thanks to the full weight of the federal government and leading out with partners here in the Utah State Governor Cox, the suspect was apprehended in a historic time period. So 11/29, alleged suspect Tyler Robinson is seen on surveillance footage arriving on Utah Valley's University campus in a gray Dodge Challenger. He was wearing a maroon t-shirt and light-colored shorts and shoes. So I believe this has all those videos. No, this is when he's leaving. Where's the video of him arriving? 8:29, he arrives. 11:52. They have him moving through the stairwells and up to the roof. Some 150. I've seen 200 yards. 150 to 200 yards, though, is the number we're saying. Hey, thank you, Wagira. Oh my God, I gotta fix this. It's gonna do this for 5 times again. Thank you, Wagira. It's gonna do it 5 times. I need to fix this. It's not. It's just supposed to go once. I'd be screwed if somebody. I'd be screwed if somebody does like 20 of them. Okay, are we done, Kanye? We done? Oh my God, one more. Okay, so 11:52, he's moving up to the roof. 12:23 is when the shot is taken. 12:23. So time that he gets to the roof, he's on that roof for like 20 minutes. I think I have an exact time in my Obsidian note that he was on the roof. Commissioner Bo Mason said the suspect at this point wearing dark clothing can be seen moving across the roof to a shooting location. So that's the video where the guy's finger tracks him. He says, look, there's a guy up there on the roof. 12:23, while answering audience questions, Kirk is struck with a single gunshot to the neck and slumps over. According to graphic and widely circulated videos of the incident, the crowd, which officials said numbered 3,000 people, dispersed in a chaotic scene. Students ran in fear and barricaded themselves in classrooms. Social media videos from the scene not verified by NPR show a group of people carrying Kirk to an SUV. Now, let's play this. This is ABC's timeline video. But I have one other thing that's interesting here. This is from Channel 5. He got an interview with the person asking the questions. Wait till you see the flags this guy has in his room. It's a Ukraine flag, an Antifa flag, a rainbow flag, a gay flag. Well, that's the rainbow flag. And then an American flag, and then a flag I don't know what it means. I'm surprised he doesn't have an anarcho-commie flag too. But first, let's watch this timeline video, then we'll get to that.
Who fatally shot conservative activist and father of 2 Charlie Kirk is over after President Donald Trump announced the suspect is in custody. 31-year-old Kirk was the founder of the Wednesdays. Authorities have identified 22-year-old Tyler Robinson as Robinson was arrested. According to Utah Governor Spencer Cox, suspect Tyler Robinson arrived at UVU's campus at 8:29 a.m. local time on the day of the shooting, driving a gray Dodge.
Local time is mountain time, by the way. All times are going to be in mountain time.
Challenger. Bo Mason, the commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety, said authorities tracked the suspect's movements onto the campus.
Through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location.
At 12:07 p.m., a crowd awaits Charlie Kirk at UVU. The first.
By the way, no close-up video is going to be shown in this stream. I know I show some pretty crazy stuff on my stream sometimes, but we're not going to show that.
Stop on Turning Point USA's The American Comeback Tour. Supporters start chanting Kirk's name ahead of his appearance. Around 12:09, Kirk makes his appearance and throws hats out into the crowd of about 3,000 people.
All right, we're gonna get started, everybody. You know how it works.
Yeah, that sounds fun, Grid. I'll definitely check it out. I'll be probably stopping in and out on Friday. I'll be coming by. Isn't your birthday October 14th? No, it's October 16th. Why?
12:11 p.m. Kirk begins speaking, opening debate.
Oh yeah, so 12:11 is when he sits down and starts talking. 12:09 is when we see him throwing the hats out. 12:11 he sits down. 12:23 is when the shot is taken. 2 questions were asked. The first question was about Mormonism. Basically the kid's argument was the Mormon church is more historically accurate than the Christian church, which is stupid. But anyway, but okay. And the last thing Charlie says before ending that question, he says basically, I don't want to get caught up in this because I don't want people to think that I hate the Mormons. I love the Mormons, and I don't want to get into a debate about this here and take up all the time with that. So we'll just leave it at I love the Mormons, but I disagree with some things. And so he says, I love the Mormons. They cheer. Now, in this time, you have to imagine, and this sounds morbid, but he's in the shooter's crosshairs at this point. Thinking about the way he's in an amphitheater, the way that sound works in an amphitheater. Sorry, I'm raising my hand to get my camera to lock back on me. Stop it. I hate how it's too sensitive. It's only supposed to... Look, now I can't... Okay, cool. The way an amphitheater is designed, the reason we use amphitheaters is because they help sound to travel. You know, they build the walls behind it. It's down in the ground. People can form layers, cascading upward. Speaker talks in the middle of the amphitheater. The sound carries. It echoes off the buildings to areas around. So it's very possible that the shooter could hear everything he was saying. I don't know for a fact, but I would guess 150 yards away where he was, how the speakers would have been facing, the way that the area is shaped, the nature of an amphitheater. It's very likely the shooter could hear what he was saying. And the shooter was raised in a Mormon family. Jack Mormon, obviously. He went to college, and we'll talk about this in a little bit. Basically, the idea that the college radicalized this, like, decent young man, smart guy, loved his parents, loved his family, raised in the church, the Mormon church. Goes to college, and within 4 years is radicalized as a Antifa LGBT lefty. And I'm going to keep saying that even though I know he wasn't a T, but his boyfriend was. So he could probably hear what Charlie's saying. So Charlie answers a question about Mormons. As somebody who was raised in the Mormon church, he probably didn't like that. He probably didn't like the "we love the Mormons" answer. He probably hates Mormons. But I don't know. This is just me spitballing and knowing, living in Utah, people who turn on the Mormon church tend to hate the Mormon church. They're rebelling against it, so they feel vexed by the Mormons. So they really radically turn against them. Anyway, so that's the first question. Second question, and this is wild, and this is where we get to a lot of conspiracies. And this is where I wonder, like, is this dude in any way connected to this? Are we looking into that? I'm sure we probably are. Is it just a crazy coincidence that the second question that he asks is about transgender shooters? You know, he says, how many transgender shootings have there been in the past year, I think? And he says 5. And then he says, how many shootings in general? And Charlie says, are we counting gang violence? And the kid's about to say, well, and that's when the fire rings out.
And answering questions from individuals in the crowd. At 12:23 p.m., Kirk is hit with a single shot to the neck, appearing to come from an elevated position on a nearby rooftop. Video shows Kirk being carried by 6 men to an SUV, which transports him to Timpanogos Regional Hospital.
This is still 12:23. All of this happens within a minute.
Transports him to Timpanogos Regional Hospital. According to authorities, immediately following the shooting, the subject moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled campus into a...
That's a good 12-foot drop. I mean, from where his feet were, about 12 feet. Total, probably a 15-foot roof.
A nearby neighborhood. At 12:52 p.m., UVU sent out an alert that police are investigating and that a suspect is in custody. The person of interest is released after questioning. At 2:22 p.m., the Orem Police Department
No, because there isn't one.
said the shooting suspect was not in custody and is still at large. At 2:40 p.m., President Donald Trump announces in a post on Truth Social that Charlie Kirk has died from his injuries.
Synchronicity? You're talking about the question being asked and you think it's just synchronicity? Could be. Could be. A lot of times we see patterns where there really aren't any. But I don't believe in coincidence. So, yeah, synchronicity is a good word.
Writing, quote, "No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie." At 4 p.m., Utah Governor Spencer Cox clarifies during a press conference.
Spencer Cox is, a lot of people are praising him as saying he's given the most reasonable speech, or who was Chris Cuomo was saying he thinks Governor Cox has handled it better than anybody who's given a speech on it. Now, I don't know if that was pre-Charlie's wife. I know a lot of people aren't going to like Charlie's wife because she got a little fiery. Hell hath no what is it? Hell hath no fire like a woman, or hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. That was powerful. And I'm kind of tired of everybody saying we need to tone down the rhetoric. No, what she said was, that was strong.
That there is a person of interest in custody who is being questioned.
To whoever did this.
Yeah, I'm not even going to read that comment, Plankton, because that sounds like nonsense. No offense to you, but nah, I doubt it.
We will find you.
At 4:21 p.m., FBI Director Cashapp writes in a post on X that the subject, quote, "for the horrific shooting today that took the life of Charlie Kirk, is in custody." Authorities later say the person of interest was not the shooting suspect and was released after questioning.
So that's the first suspect that was taken, the old man. His name, I think I have it written down in my notes. I have that when we cover the conspiracies. And I don't even have what you're saying, Plankton, in my list of conspiracies that we're going to go through yet. Nah. The fact that hasn't even came up on my radar. Somebody in the audience might have had a gun. I'm sure a lot of people in that audience had guns. It's Utah. But I saw him in the video you just played. Okay, well. All right, well, I've been on this like white on rice and a glass of milk and a paper plate in a snowstorm, and I haven't heard anything about that, so it's probably not true, but it's very likely people in that audience had guns. Probably a lot of them had guns. Weird whispers and seem to be half stuttering. Am I crazy? I don't think you're crazy. I think you're looking too hard for a performance when she is she's a Miss Arizona. She runs a clothing business and she has a doctorate in biblical studies. So she's educated, she's camera trained, she's media trained. So she knows how to be performative for a camera. But also, if you think that a woman whose husband just got shot on TV in front of their kid is not going to be emotional, that's crazy. That's crazy to think that she's not actually crying, or to think that some people were saying like, oh, she really prepared for this speech. She probably read the speech like 2 or 3 times in the mirror before going on the stage. You think she had time to like sit and recite the thing over and over and over again for hours? She probably hadn't slept since it happened. It was 3 days, and she'd probably been very busy for the past 3 days. Like, she didn't have time to sit for 6 hours and practice the speech. She's just media trained, and she probably read it a time or two in the mirror beforehand. CCW laws. Utah just passed a law that you can carry on campus, but does not take effect until next month, I think. Okay, I didn't know that, but I do know that in Utah, yeah, Utah has constitutional carry. Everybody's got guns, and they weren't searching people. In one of the interviews that I have, they weren't really searching people. Like, you could just walk into the campus. And if you're a Utahn and you normally carry a weapon and you can just walk onto campus and nobody's stopping people, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of them had weapons on them. Do you think she wrote the speech? Probably had co-writers. It may have been written for her. I mean, I don't know. It depends on how, if she, a wife might want to write the speech for her husband. So I don't know. She probably wrote it. But I don't know. She might have had writers. I don't know. I don't think that's important.
At 7
He was always in a vest. He wasn't wearing a vest that day. You can see his nipples through his shirt. Unless he got a nipple vest. There's zoomed in pictures where, like, you can't even see my nips because I have a wife beater on under this. But if I didn't have a wife beater on under this, you'd see some nipplage. You can see some nipplage that day. He was not wearing a vest. Unless the video I saw of the close-up of his shirt when he lifts his hands, and you see, unless they like AI'd that, I'm pretty sure from multiple different angles you see a little nip action, which tells me he wasn't wearing a vest. The vest theory debunked. The refraction off the vest. I have never seen Charlie in a vest, but maybe. Yeah, I've never. I don't know. I just know that I've seen videos of that day and you can see his nipple through his shirt. Like, he's just wearing a t-shirt. He said he saw the vest. But I don't know what he saw because I didn't see it. Charlie security would have reacted to the gunshot. Tim Pool said he wore titanium plates and not a vest. Okay, well, I don't know. All I know is I've seen freeze frames from that day where he's sitting in the chair and he has his arm up and you can see his nipples. I don't mean to sound weird saying nipple over and over again, but I think that's pretty good evidence that he wasn't wearing a vest.
9 a.m. on Thursday, September 11th, FBI Special Agent in Charge, Robert Bowles, announces during a press conference that authorities have recovered what is believed to be the weapon used in the shooting, a high-powered bolt-action rifle. At 9:56 a.m., authorities released images of the suspect.
See, this is a more cohesive timeline than this one. This is a very basic timeline. This one goes a little deeper. A lot of news stories have conflicting timelines and different numbers and stuff, so I'm gathering all of them. It's not done yet, but I'm putting them all together in an Obsidian note. I'm gathering all this stuff. I'm keeping tabs on everything.
Shooter asking for.
There's a minute left of this. Let me just play this and get through it because I want to show you this interview with this guy who was asking the question. When it happened.
The public's help in identifying them. The FBI writes in a post on X that it is offering a reward of up to $100,000 for information leading to the identification and the arrest of the individual responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. At 6 a.m. Mountain Time on Friday, September 12th, President Donald Trump announced on Fox and Friends in New York that a person is in custody.
As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted.
At 8 a.m., Utah Governor Spencer Cox said at a press conference that Tyler Robinson, a Utah native, was identified as the person who shot and killed Kirk.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
We got him.
He was taken into custody in St. George, Utah on Friday. Cox said that after Robinson's father recognized his son in the distributed photographs, he told Robinson to turn himself in. Robinson initially said no, but later changed his mind, officials said. The father then called a youth pastor, who is also a U.S. Marshals Task Force officer. The officer advised the father to have Robinson stay in place. This information was then conveyed to the FBI.
I'm grateful that at this moment we have an opportunity to bring closure to this very dark chapter in our nation's history.
You're not gay. It's
Sorry. You're not gay. It's a demon that's inside of you. Sorry. Okay. I don't know. Everybody wants to talk about the vest. Where's the video of him throwing the hats? Look, you can see right here in this picture, he is not wearing a vest in this. I know this is not the same day. This is a different picture, but you can see he's not wearing a vest in this picture. You can see he's not wearing a vest in this video. He's wearing a jacket here, so you can't tell. You can see the way his shirt jumps. No, he wasn't wearing a vest. I would stake $5 on that. I would bet $5. Okay, anyway. So this is Channel 5. So there's a timeline. Now we're going to go through a few interesting things. We're going to look at some of the media backlash in lead up to the capture of the shooter. And then we'll get, dude, I have like 40 different things to go through, and we're on 5. It's okay. We got 2 more hours. One interesting thing, though, is, where is it? Where is it? I don't even know where it is. Oh, here it is. Utah governor says suspect in Charlie Kirk assassination is not cooperating. He's not confessing. I think he's lawyering up, which means we're not going to get any good interrogation videos out of this if he's lawyered up. But anyway, this is the guy that was asking the question when the bullet was shot.
I think some like Palestine flags and things like that. And, you know, there was a little bit of taunt.
Look at his flags. This is an Antifa flag. You can barely see it, but it's the 3 downward arrows, which everybody's saying, oh, what was put on the bullet is a Helldiver's code. Do you think it's a coincidence that they use a Helldiver's code that happens to have 3 downward arrows? Like, everybody's trying to brush off. He had no affiliation with Antifa. That's a Helldiver's bullet. We'll talk about this later, the bullets, the shell casings, what they had on them. There's 3 downward arrows, and people are like, you're wrongly attributing that to Antifa. That's actually a video game. This is what gamers do. It's the same thing as on J6, that damn Fed op who went into the Capitol, who had the sickle and the hammer and sickle tattooed on his hand, and they said, that's not a hammer and sickle. That's from the video game Dishonored. Shut up, dude. That's what gamers do. They use codes that look similar to the codes that are from video games so that they don't get tied in with what they're really doing it for. You think it's just a coincidence that the code from the video game has 3 downward arrows, just like this Antifa flag right here in this kid's room who was asking the question when it happened? A Ukraine flag, a gay flag, an American flag. This, what is this flag? This North Star thing? Does anybody know? It looks like a seafarer, like like some sort of merchant marine. I don't know what the heck I'm trying to say right now. Looks like a ocean navigation type of star. What are these called? Does anybody know what this flag is for? This blue flag with this white star in the middle, looking like a nautical star. Anyway, and then a Black Lives Matter flag. This is the guy who was asking the question. Holy Benjamin was a super soldier and said I was thinking before I heard her say it. No coincidences. It's a UN flag, sort of. Interesting. This is the only one I don't know here.
Back and forth, but not very out of hand.
I don't think you're crazy for that, Lord Spike, but they are not doing MK Ultra the way they did MK Ultra during MK Ultra, is what I would say. MK Ultra was the test run. MK Ultra was the figuring out how we can do this, and since then they've gotten way better at it. Now they MK Ultra everyone with subliminal messaging, monarch mind control, screen time, targeted advertising, and things like this. Like, I doubt that his college was taking him into a room and giving him acid and playing dolphin videos, is what I'm saying. But every kid on that campus is getting mind controlled. They just do it. They do it more subtly. More subtle now.
Most of the debaters were either like asking questions like who's better, LeBron or Jordan, or like some like theological debates about distinctions between like Mormonism and Christians.
That Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God.
Dude, gotta respect Charlie. Every chance he took, he's sharing the gospel. Could be a question about politics. Is a question about Mormons. Instead of saying, let's destroy this Mormon and his stupid views, he says, look, I don't want to debate this right now. I love the Mormons. Can we agree that Jesus was born of a virgin, crucified on a cross, rose again the third day, died for our sins, and is the only way to the Father through the Son, you know, basically sharing the gospel every chance he gets.
But also,
we'll get to the J's, Chuck. We'll get to the J's, okay?
The event lasted, I want to say 20 minutes, maybe. Like, I really didn't get a good finger on the pulse on what an event would really look like, because, I mean, I showed up fairly early. I was the second person to speak there. So, like, you know, the first person was maybe 10 minutes, and I maybe got like less than a minute in. So
could you give us kind of a recap of how that conversation with Charlie went?
Sure.
Yeah, this is working. Hey, Charlie. Hey, hopefully we're gonna have a little bit more disagreement.
So it was, I came in and I said, hey, there was a shooting that happened maybe a few weeks ago in Minneapolis.
And ever since then, about 3 weeks later, the Trump DOJ said that we should start talking about revoking gun rights for trans.
And I talked about this on last Monday. I talked about the Justice Department was considering banning guns from transgender people. And now, this is after the Minneapolis shooting, but it's not just after the Minneapolis shooting. It's after multiple shootings that had a T person involved. And multiple T people with manifestos saying what they're going to do. The Nashville shooter, they didn't want to release the manifesto because it would make the T's look bad. Wasn't it Uvalde? I forget. There's so many. I forget all the names of them, but it's been a lot. Back to back to back to back. And even if you go farther, when you look at Dylan and Eric from Columbine, come on now. This was before the LGBT movement was a popular thing, but if it was, they would be in it.
Transgender Americans.
Do you think, is that, you agree with this? Is that a fair assessment or something like that? And he said yes. And then I said...
So, do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years?
Too many.
And I said, there's 5. And I said, do you know how many shootings there have been? I think maybe my memory's a little hazy. I haven't rewatched the videos, honestly. But it was something like this, which I knew the answer. It was a little under 6,000. He said something like, we need to account for gang violence. And I think I was like, I was in the middle of saying, great, did you run a statistical analysis on that, right? Like essentially saying you have the burden of proof. And I think I was in the middle of saying that when when he got shot.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
I went down pretty immediately, and everyone near me, everyone in the rest of my line, who I'd been talking to for.
There's the guy that's cheering. So this guy, I actually don't have any information on this guy in my folders. I have read some things.
The last few hours, dropped.
It's crazy. I just froze it on him. He's the last one in the frame.
Everyone in the rest of my line, who I'd been talking to for the last few hours, dropped down with me. I remember, I have a brother who was in a school shooting, and
Everybody got a brother who was in a school shooting now. There's the guy on the roof. So Trump tweets. I believe Trump tweeted at 3:02. This led to some of the small hat conspiracies. Him and Netanyahu both tweeted at the same time at 3:02. But Trump's tweet, we've all heard it by now. The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he is no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you. So, I believe this was 3:02. This one it says 2:50 here. See, that's why I don't even know that they tweeted at the same time, because it said 3:02 on the other one. Let me get off this and see what. So there's a timeline. There's the interview with the shooter. What do I have next? I arranged all this. I had to throw this together this morning after work, so. This is an image. Let me just move this over so you can't see. This is an image of what it would look like from the shooter's perspective. A picture taken from where he was. Too easy of a shot. A lot of people, and I think a lot of these guys are trying to cover their own, kind of trying to cover their asses, because there's a guy who put up a YouTube video about being at the event, and he says, I sent a message to my friends as right before it happened saying, it looks like he's in a kill zone, or it looks like he's in a kill box, because he's just surrounded in this pit out in the open with vantage points everywhere. Somebody had messaged somebody, it looks like he's in a kill box. Now, if the feds see that after this, you're going to get questioned. And so a couple guys have put out videos talking about, I was there and this is what I was thinking. This is what I said. This is why I said it. I think Charlie Kirk Steven Crowder had a guy on his show that was doing a thing, and he's like, yeah, me and my friends were talking. I'm like, yeah, it looks like he's in a kill box. It's a crazy place to set up. Yeah. So many vantage points everywhere. And how do you not have 20 drones in the sky? Everybody's got a drone nowadays. How do you not at least have 10 nerds with drones just watching? That seems so easy. It seems like such a simple oversight. That all you needed was 10 drones. A drone in a perimeter, and you could have one nerd with 10 drone controllers just watching. I did recognize that guy. He is a lib TikTok guy I saw. Here we go again. You can't use a drone on a university without a license. Yeah, that is a thing where you can't fly them some places. Wouldn't the security have some sort of way to... I don't know. I feel like if you're high enough, All right, well, Gear, are we done yet, Kanye? One more. Sorry, guys, I gotta fix that. I gotta turn off the gifted membership sound. I thought it would just do it once, but it does it for everyone. Seen the close-up video of the thing flying off just as a pin or a clip or something. I think it's his microphone. I think it's a lapel mic or something like that. Like a clip-on microphone that pops off. Okay, so the shooting happens before any new developments come out between the night of and the next day. A lot of cultural backlash. You know, Charlie Kirk was fighting the culture war. Comedy Central pulls the South Park episode. A lot of people were bringing up the South Park episode. Comedy Central pulls the South Park episode. TMZ apologizes after staff is heard erupting in laughter as Charlie Kirk's death was announced. Does this have a Does it have a clip of this? I don't think it's going to have a clip. Oh, wait, here we go.
We were live streaming all day during.
This is the apology. I want when it happens. They don't have the video of when it happens up here. So they're reporting, and they do like live shows all the time. And they're talking, and they're like, you hear in the background, woo, yeah! And then they say, wait, we're getting a report. Charlie Kirk has just been shot. And everybody's like, what were they cheering in the back for? And then they come out and they say this.
This tragedy, when something happened in our office, as we were reporting the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase. And they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here. And
okay, so I haven't done my due diligence to grab you the video. Again, I got to throw this stuff together like last minute in the morning after working all night, and I got to get some sleep at some point. So, but I've seen, if you guys haven't seen it, you can see the original video where they announce it and the people cheer. You can also see a video of the car chase that they were watching. It is not an impressive car chase. It's not a high speed down the interstate, car goes rolling, cops catching the guy, nothing like that. It's just a little white SUV driving through the streets with a couple police cars following him at slow speeds through a neighborhood. Nothing happens in the video that's a reason to cheer. Nothing to get excited about. Boring car chase video. The time when they all start to cheer is when the helicopter guy or the reporter who's reporting on the car chase says, breaking news, Trump just said that Charlie Kirk has been shot. Then they all start cheering. They weren't cheering about the car chase. There was nothing interesting in the car chase. So TMZ came under fire for this, rightfully so.
we want to make a couple of things clear. One is that I know these people, and they were not laughing.
Liar.
They were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's assassination. They were not. They would.
Not painless, but I don't think he felt that much. I listened to a whole video last night from a doctor guy, like a neuropathologist doctor guy, and he explained everything. You know, he explained how if you get the jugular and the what is it, the coronary artery cut at the same time, one is pumping oxygenated blood out of your brain and one is trying to send in. That's why you see the gush. High heart rate if he's, because he was just throwing the hats, you're amped up, you got the audience, you probably have your adrenaline and your heart rate is going quickly. They say it was about 4 seconds 4 seconds till he went unconscious. It was rapid unconsciousness. You're unconscious within 4 seconds. You don't even have time to register. The reason his hands go up is a impulsive defense mechanism. Basically, when you're scared, if you do this, it's kind of like that. If somebody jumps you and you go, that's why his hands went up. It was just a defensive reaction. And then they said you can see from the video, he's unconscious within 4 seconds. You have, I think, 3 minutes before there's brain damage, permanent brain damage, 5 minutes before death. There were stories that his team was able to, put pressure on the wound and keep him alive till he got to the hospital. And the report is that he died at the hospital. A lot of people were saying, no, he died instantly. That's not the way that works. You would be alive for like 5 minutes afterwards, but he wouldn't have felt pain. He wouldn't have even registered that he had been shot before he was unconscious. He puts his hand into the entry wound and then slumps. Well, he puts his arms up like this. So yeah, maybe it's basically it's just a fear impulse, a reaction like that. You're jumping in. At least this is what the guy who's way more knowledgeable on this stuff than me said. Anyway, TMZ, this is our mayor. So our mayor who can post shorts and TikToks and videos when there's a gay flag change, has people come out, posts a whole bunch of pictures, writes a three paragraph long post about making Utah gay flags with the city's emblem on them so that she can fly them at the city county building. She'll do 8 posts about a gay flag. This is what she had to say about this. This is all she said. She took the time to write one sentence. The horrific act of violence against Charlie Kirk at UVU this afternoon is abhorrent and un-American. There is no place for political violence in our society. That's all she wrote. That's the only comment that our mayor had about this. I said, when you have a leftist shoot and kill someone at your No Kings protest, dead in the street with 0 repercussions, you send a strong message that leftist violence is allowed in Utah. Because she did. That guy still hasn't been arrested yet, by the way. Matt Alder, the Antifa 5051 peacekeeper from the No Kings protest, who shot and killed a innocent bystander, still hasn't been arrested. They arrested the wrong guy, kept him in jail for the weekend, and then released him. But the real shooter has not been arrested. Still. And there's been no updates. They buried the story. No Kings protest, Salt Lake City, Utah. A 5051 peacekeeper, green vest, shot and killed an innocent bystander while shooting at a guy who was Second Amendment constitutionally carrying an unloaded rifle at a protest, which is very normal in Utah. It's a common thing. That guy hasn't. And now they're doing a No Kings 2 on October 18th. And they're coming to Utah. 5051 has separated from Utah. But there's a new group that's moved in. They're called Invisible Utah, or Invisible something. I forget what they're called. I'll keep us updated on it as it gets closer. But they're doing No Kings 2 on October 18th. And apparently they're coming to Utah. 5051 won't touch Utah, but this Invisible Utah, or whatever the heck they're called, they're going to come. It's crazy. In case of emergency, there's thousands of people in one place. That should be mandatory. They should have had ambulances on scene. Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised yeah, that was surprising. What's crazy to me is when he's climbing down the roof, there's not already a bunch of people running around that side of the building looking for someone. Like, I don't know. Look at some of these stupid comments. Wasn't America created out of violence against the indigenous people of Turtle Island? Seems pretty on brand where America started to where it is today. It's awful, but not an aberration. She's saying political violence in America is normal. We've always done it. Basically justifying it. Stupid. These people are idiots. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez responds. This is after the shooting, within that first 24-hour time period. AOC's got to come out and make her comments. I haven't even actually listened to these yet, but actually I think I have heard some, basically calling for gun control.
In a time of extraordinary and growing political violence in the United States. I mean, we were on these steps here on January 6th when a mob attacked this Capitol just a couple of months ago. A Democratic lawmaker was assassinated in her own home. Yesterday, Charlie Kirk.
Notice what she chooses to point out. January 6th and the Democratic lawmakers that were taken out.
Assassinated in broad daylight in front of thousands of people. It really, at this point, is not about like the political stripe. This is about the emergence and uncorking of violence that we're talking about, and it is absolutely gotten to a point that is where we need to really look towards our leaders to lower the temperature and also...
Yeah, you can send it on Discord. What is it? I don't know if I'm going to play it tonight, but yeah, send it. Raid alert. Who raided? What's up, OTW? Who raided? OTW or lower class? Why doesn't it alert me anymore? It's supposed to pop up with the thing on top. Guys, hit the like button. Y'all slacking. What's the video of OTW? I could have it. Dude, I've got like 40 different pages to go through. I don't think we're going to even get to all of them.
Lead by, I believe, in my view, ensuring that we have...
Yeah, and here it is, the gun violence. Now, this is another interesting thing, and this is going to lead to conspiracies forever. The type of weapon he chose. He didn't use an AR. He didn't use a assault weapon. A big scary black rifle. He used a bolt action rifle. So when they say, we're just going to come after the ARs, even though pistols are the most commonly used in mass shootings, even though a bolt action rifle was used in this assassination, eventually you're going to have to come for the pistols and the bolt action rifles too. A breakdown of a ton of tweets and shit from Utah Troons. All right. Well, maybe we'll save that to the little conspiracy section.
Gun safety and laws against violence in the book.
And it's about gun safety. Okay, so cultural backlash, media backlash. I don't want to rip everybody's heart out right now. I'm not going to play this whole thing. The snippet that I choose to play, people might not like my choice of the excerpt that we're going to play right now. There's a lot of nice things she says. There's a lot of happy things she says. There's a lot of good Christian stuff that she says. And the excerpt that I'm going to play is the fiery part. When I was watching, this is when I said, is that too inflammatory for you? Because this was powerful. I'm not going to play too much of this. I'm not trying to, we've had our 3 days to mourn. We've got to get back to business as usual. Wagira with the dang memberships. Kanye, come on, Kanye. All right. Coder, Stepfire, Jalen, and Golden Renaissance Production. And OTW. We got 5 of them. Hold on, we gotta wait till this plays. Are we done yet? I think we got one more. There we go. Okay, guys. I'll fix that later so that we don't have to listen to it 5 times whenever somebody sends 5 gifted memberships. Okay. All right. So this is the powerful part. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Let's listen.
Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship.
Is this even the right time?
It's the most important one of all.
Oh my gosh. Cat, you got Kanye coming back 5 times again. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Turd Ferguson. Shane McClain. Had a powerful fart once. Oh my God. Who knows who is to blame for her loss? True. Yeah, well, they're trying to say it's Groypers now. That's the new. Oh, too many sound effects. Okay, we got to do something about these sound effects. All right. Was this been playing the whole time on mute? Dang it.
You have they should all know that a message of patriotism. Have no idea.
Dang it.
Testimonies from people my husband.
Sorry, it was playing on mute while I was listening to Kanye.
Been inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all.
Here we go.
The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us.
Dude, anybody saying she what do you think? She took acting classes and she studied this script for 12 hours and stood and practiced for 4 hours to get this just perfect? That's crazy. You're crazy if you think that.
Will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for...
She probably hasn't slept in 3 days at this point.
For a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow him.
Now, does that mean she's not media trained? Of course she's media trained. She was Miss Arizona. And she's smart. So, yes, she's got some camera training and she's got some speech training, I'm sure. But to think she just this is all an act is crazy to me.
He could always find
But that was it. That was the fiery part of the speech. So this happens the next morning, or actually, yeah, the next morning when I get off work. I said the night before, I said the morning before, I said, I bet when I wake up to go to work, the suspect is going to be caught. I was wrong. It was 8 hours later. I was 8 hours off. It wasn't when I woke up for work. It was when I got home from work. When I got home from work is when the press conference where Spencer Cox said we got him, that was happening as I got home from work the following day. So my prediction was 8 hours off. But they got him. He turned himself in to his parents. I don't have all that stuff. We covered that stuff live as it was happening that morning. So you can go back and watch that stuff. I've been on this the whole time from the beginning. But now, a little update. Utah governor says suspect in Charlie Kirk's assassination is not cooperating with authorities. 22-year-old suspect behind the assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk is not cooperating with investigators, Utah Governor Spencer Cox said, and two law enforcement sources said. Cox stressed on several Sunday morning news shows that the investigators are still trying to pin down a motive for the attack, and said more information may come out once the suspect appears in court on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. Tomorrow is his first appearance. There's so much more that we're learning and so much more that we will learn, Cox said on CNN State of the Union. There will be official charges filed on Tuesday, and there will be much more evidence and information available then. And again, we're interviewing all kinds of people, everyone that knows him, and trying to learn more about the motive actually was. So if you saw my live stream from outside the house where all the detectives were, I got a little excited at first. I've changed the title of that video like 3 times, and I've made it members only again because I haven't confirmed that it's related yet. I'm 90% sure it's related. I said I was 95% sure. I'm almost positive it's related to this, but I don't know that the shooter ever lived there. I don't know anything like that. All I know is I think it's related. They took evidence. They had an SBI forensics unit, which SBI is the agency that was investigating this. That's the Special Bureau of Investigation in Utah. They were there. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when I was coming home from work the day after the shooting, around the corner from where I live, there was a whole bunch of detective vehicles and plainclothes, geared up, kitted out detectives searching a house. All the people who lived at the house were on the front porch, and they were going through and interviewing them one at a time. I heard one of them say, "Am I going to get arrested for this?" Showing their cell phones. Detectives searching the house, going in with evidence bags, coming out with things. I saw a detective put a pair of sunglasses into an evidence bag. I saw them take a backpack, a box full of paperwork and files, and a brown bag wrapped up, brought out of the house, put into the forensics unit. They searched the garage in the backyard. I didn't talk to anybody. I asked the detectives as I was going by. The first time I said, "What's going on here?" They wouldn't answer me. And then I sat and I recorded all of it for about an hour. I believe that they at least knew the guy. Somebody in that house knew the guy, and that's why the detectives were there. And they took evidence. So I'm not sure how it's related, how they may have known the guy. But anyway, so they're talking to everybody. They're doing interviews to find a motive. And that's what everybody's reporting on. He's not cooperating. He's not confessing. Probably lawyering up. Jess, did you figure out what was going on during your Utah IRL stakeout? It was fun regardless. Yeah, okay. I just talked about that, and then I saw your comment. Okay. What else? But now, so there's new updates. So Also, the shell, I'm a little out of order here. I guess we should go to because we're skipping ahead. We're skipping ahead now. But since I already showed it, stuff is coming out from his Discord chats because this is not a trained assassin. This is a dumb, radical college kid. And they were talking about picking up the rifle on Discord. Like, this is his boyfriend, girlfriend. I guess you're supposed to say girlfriend. This is his boyfriend, a furry. This will be important once we start reading what the shell said, what the casing said. But this is Lance Twiggs. This is the boyfriend, furry transgender boyfriend of the shooter. Everything we know about Tyler Robinson's transgender roommate who tipped off cops after receiving incriminating messages. The reason why I'm unsure about that house is because apparently all these people live in St. George, and St. George is pretty far from here. So I'm thinking maybe the reason I've put that IRL stream ZT Den behind members only is because, and I changed the title to it, is because I can't confirm that he ever lived there, but I do think maybe he knew somebody who lived there and was at least talking to them, and maybe had been there before and left some things, and that's why they were taking evidence. This is my guess. I'm all guessing until I can talk to somebody from that house, which they weren't happy looking at me recording. So I don't know, but this is all new stuff. I want to go to the bullets first, the shell casings, before we go to the conspiracy theories. Okay. The morning after, one of the first breaking reports we got was Crowder's letter from an ATF source saying that the gun was found wrapped in a towel off the grounds, and 4 casings. The spent casing was left in the weapon, 3 others on a top-loaded magazine. I'm not a gun guy, so if I get any of these terms wrong, sorry. But that I'm not anti-gun either. I'm just, I'm not allowed to have guns, but so but anyway, 4 casings found. What is the meaning? Of course, as we see is typical with these types of people, they like to decorate their weapons. They like they're artsy and craftsy. They like to decorate things. They've been making signs for the past 6 years. They've been making signs with little cool notes on them and stuff, and doing memes, even though they suck at memes because the left doesn't know how to meme. Well, never mind. But anyway, there's inscriptions on the casings. Notice this bulge, OWO. What's this? Is the inscription on the bullet that killed Charlie. So this is the most important one. What does this mean? What could this tie to? You're going to see dumbass lefties claiming that this is all Groyper stuff. It's all the Groypers. Where is it? Tell me if this looks Groyperish to you. From Reddit. RAR XD nuzzles you and notices your bulge. OWO, what's this? RAR X3 nuzzles. How are you? Pounces on you. You're so warm. Notices you have a bulge. Someone's happy. Nuzzles your necky wecky. Myrrh, hee hee. Rubbies your bulgy wolgy. You're so big. Rubbies on your bulgy wolgy. It doesn't stop growing. Kissies and lickies your necky daddy likies. This is furry. This is furry talk. This is furry talk. And this is the origin of not this, the actual meme is right here. So this is the actual meme, and then in Reddit communities, you'll see people posting like this. This is furry language. And the idea is these people are so chronically online and so, so out there that they end up having conversations with themselves. Original meme referenced by Tyler Robinson. Hee hee, you're a cutie, flops beside you and nuzzles. Nuzzles you back and pounces on you and notices your bulge. OWO, what's this? It's a furry meme. Other inscriptions on the casings, Bella Chow. If you've ever seen the show, what's it called? Is it The Heist? Bank Heist? I think it's called Bank Heist. I watched, the first season was pretty good of that show. Anyway, it's an Italian song. It's an Italian song from the Antifascista, the German Antifascista, the anti-fascist under Nazi Germany. The modern day Antifa are fascist. They think they're stopping the new Nazis because, if you're on the right, if you're a Trump supporter, if you're a Charlie Kirk supporter, you're a fascist Nazi. So they think that they're the virtuous anti-fascista, the Antifa. But really, they're more fascist than anybody else when you assassinate somebody for having open dialogue at a college campus. That makes you the fascist, dummy. But Bella Chow, also communist, or not communist, I'm sorry, anarchist. And if you saw when I went to that protest at the Capitol, I interviewed that guy with the anarcho-commie flag. A lot of the Antifa people have been moving over to anarcho-communism. That's the new vibe, I guess, for Antifa, is being anarcho-commies. So Bella Chow is kind of more of an anarchist thing than an anti-fascist thing, but they're one and the same now. So I think that's pretty clear cut. Here's the video of him running away from the building. He came in with the gun down his pant leg. Then when he left, he had it in his hands, realized he couldn't run with it in his pant legs, leaves it in the woods, and then goes on Discord and says, I'm going to need you to go pick up the weapon. Like an idiot. But that's the Bella Chow one. Hey, Fascist Catch was on another show. Now, some people are saying that this is how they're going to tie it to the Groypers. And I've already seen leftists jumping on this bandwagon. I said it in a stream, just thinking out loud, because we were talking about the Israel conspiracy. And I said, it's possible this could be like a Groyper type who, now I was just spitballing. I don't think that's the case. As more evidence has come out, I do not think that's the case. I was just spitballing, but now that seems to be the go-to narrative for the lefties, is to blame the Groypers. This, hey, fascist catch, seems obvious. This is an anti-fascist type person. They're saying that this is sarcasm and that it ties to gamer language, which is hey, catch. Another word that rhymes with fascist that I'm not allowed to say on YouTube. They actually mean the same thing. They both mean bundle of sticks. So if you didn't know, the word fascist comes from a bundle of sticks, because they say one stick snaps easily, a bundle of sticks makes you stronger. Is it just a coincidence that fascist and the other word that means bundle of sticks sound the same? Probably not. Probably the same etymology and words there. But so that's the other one. And then the last one had a bunch of arrows. Let me see. Where is that? The real meaning behind the trans sex furry meme on rifle that killed Charlie Kirk. Notices bulge. What's this? Where is the other one? What is the last one? The last one is a series of arrows, and there's 3 down arrows. People automatically think 3 down arrows. This is a symbol of Antifa. But they're saying, no, it's from Helldivers 2. It's the code inputs you do to call in an airstrike. That's probably true. It probably is in Helldivers 2. It probably does call in an airstrike. And maybe he was playing Helldivers 2 at the time of this. But I think it also is still connected to the 3 arrows of Antifa. I think that's probably why he was captivated with that symbolism in the game. When he saw the 3 down arrows cause an airstrike, he's like, cool, that's like the Antifa arrows. I don't know this. I'm just thinking out loud. It's too much of a coincidence that... Okay. Hey Fascist Catch, along with a reference to the game Helldivers 2. If you read this, you are gay. LMAO. So those are the four inscriptions. If you read this, you are gay, gamer, trolling, and that's that. So that's the shells. I need to close some of these windows. I have too many windows open. Let's narrow this down a little bit. Okay, we covered the cultural stuff, politicians' responses, the 4 shell casings. Now let's get up to date. So now I jumped ahead with this, but reports are coming out that he's not cooperating. Talked about that. Then we start hearing about the boyfriend. Lance Twiggs, boyfriend who is going through transgender surgery to become a girl or planning to. It's unclear if the Twiggs is the same person mentioned in those reports, and his name does not appear in the affidavit. His grandfather, Jerry Twiggs, told the Daily Mail that he couldn't confirm speculation about whether his grandson is transgender or if there was a transgender motive behind Kirk's killings. Can't confirm. Even though we have furry language on the shell casing, it's at least a furry. Charlie Kirk's killer was living with a transgender roommate who was transitioning from male to female. So when I saw this, I thought maybe that's the person that they were talking to at the house over there. But this is in St. George, which is like 4 hours away. So it's not that person. I think it was really just maybe he had a friend there and maybe he had stopped by. Maybe they had communication. I don't know. What's chat saying? What is a groiper? A groiper is Nick Fuentes' movement, the America First movement. That one of the things that helped actually catapult TPUSA and the groipers to fame was what was called the Groiper War, where Fuentes and his people were showing up at TPUSA events and asking questions about Israel that Charlie didn't want to answer, and kind of brushed them aside and got even a little upset a few times, ended up banning Fuentes from coming to events. He was shot moments after a comment on the trans shootings. Yeah. Yeah. Is that another coincidence? Probably not. Twiggs shared messages with police in which Robinson talked about hiding a gun connected to Wednesday's shooting of the conservative activists at Utah Valley University. A law enforcement affidavit says his name surfaced as Fox and New York Post reported that Robinson was living with a transgender partner who was cooperating with investigators. Jerry also confirmed that his grandson had been in touch with police, but says he hasn't spoken with him directly since then. After he was with the police, he's been at his house, and there's no way for us to contact him other than going over there. Twiggs, a Southern Utah native, studied at Utah Tech University. According to his Facebook profile, Robinson, 22, was enrolled as an electrician training at a nearby technical college. Like Robinson, Twiggs was a passionate gamer. On TikTok, he shared clips of himself playing shooting games. With a bio read that read, "Becoming TikTok pros, one terrible video at a time." His feed featured gameplays from titles like Apex Legends, Valorant, and Rocket League. He also posted lighthearted videos where he stuffed spaghetti into an Italian sandwich, microwaved a bottle of Mountain Dew. Wow, that's great content. It's almost as good as eating hot peanuts and drinking milk. Friends told the Daily Mail that Twiggs and Robinson were both part of a large Discord chat with dozens of gamer friends. I need to find this Discord. Many of them from Robinson's old school, Pineview High. Crazy, I went to Pineview Middle School. According to an affidavit filed Friday, Robinson's incriminating message to Twiggs were also sent through Discord. Neighbor Cable Phillips said police showed up at their two-story housing complex around 5:30 a.m. on Friday, blocking off the surrounding area as the investigation unfolded. Investigators were seen leaving the apartment with paper bags, envelopes, and a personal computer. See, I don't know where the address of this apartment complex is. Two-story housing complex, 5:30 a.m. on Friday, coming out with paper bags, envelopes, and a computer. This sounds very much like what I saw, but I'm pretty sure this is in St. George. And that was not a two-story housing complex. That's a three-story house that rents out rooms to people. So, but I did see detectives leaving that house with paper bags, envelopes, a box of evidence, and a forensics team photographing outside and examining. Like, this sounds very much like what we watched in that stream, guys. But see, this is in St. George. The apartment is in St. George, so this is not the same thing. But very similar, which makes me think that it's related. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you're a member now, you can go look at my streams. There's one of, it's a IRL stream of me watching detectives go through a house. This story sounds eerily familiar. Yeah, peanuts and milk. I don't understand that. Yeah, I ate. The other night I ate 4. I don't even know where they went. I think I hid them from myself because I was. Oh, they're right here. I ate 4 of these Tube of Terror Carolina Reaper peanuts. And then they told me to try to chug the whole gallon of milk. So then I was spicy throwing up. It was bad. Anyway. So that happened. And now the chaos ensues. So I don't have the video of the Iowa scooter guy. I don't think. Maybe it's in here somewhere. But craziness is breaking out already. Damn, it's hot in here. I need an air conditioner. Chuck making you gonna go to drink at work. Guys, we got 27 viewers and only 18 likes. Hit that like button, please. The first thing like this that I saw was in Iowa. There was a vigil being held. Guy rides through the vigil on a scooter yelling, "F Charlie Kirk, F Charlie Kirk." And he gets jumped and he gets the crap beat out of him. But he gets let go. He walks away. So, you know, I'm not going to condone the violence, but at some point, does somebody deserve to be assassinated for having ideas and talking about them on a college campus? No. Does somebody deserve to get their ass whooped sometimes? Maybe. Maybe you deserve to get your ass whooped sometimes. You don't deserve to be murdered in cold blood. But I think maybe an ass whooping could be deserved at some times. That's all I'll say. If you get up and walk away from it, you didn't get hurt that bad. You know, you just got a little whooping. Maybe that's necessary.
Open the door to more home.
Hold on, there's a Phoenix police. So this is new. I haven't even read this. You're seeing this yet. Phoenix police say rider Coral 19 was arrested after he destroyed a memorial at Turning Point USA's Phoenix headquarters on September 14th.
Commentator Charlie Kirk, a man accused of vandalizing a memorial in Phoenix, has been arrested. This happened at the headquarters of Kirk's nonprofit Turning Point USA. You can see in the video there the reaction. Man was held in place by Kirk supporters until police arrived. Fox 10's Irene Snyder joining us with more details. Good morning, Irene.
Yeah, good morning. Yeah, and that vigil out here just continues to grow at the memorial today. We spoke to many mourners that were out here yesterday during the chaos. But first, just take a look and see how it really has grown over the last less than a week, with so many people coming out here to leave balloons, flowers, and candles in honor of Charlie Kirk. Now, we did speak with one man yesterday who was there during all of the chaos, too. He says he helped police get the vandal in custody because that vandal was trying to destroy some of that memorial out here. Taking a look at that video happening yesterday morning at the headquarters for Turning Point USA. You can see police.
And he's wearing the shirt that the shooter wore.
Say this is 19-year-old rider Coral being thrown to the ground by Charlie Kirk supporters. Witnesses say Coral vandalized several items at the memorial. He was held in place by those supporters until police officers arrived. And the wardrobe Coral chose, also causing concern among people out here. He was seen wearing a similar shirt that was worn by the shooting suspect on the day of Kirk's assassination.
Wore the same shirt as the shooter did, and he was walking down. He had some type of like body cam device, and he had a phone. I think he was recording himself because he was talking to himself. So I'm assuming he was recording himself, and he was saying a lot of hateful things towards Charlie, and that I don't want to reiterate. But so me and the officer were staring at him, and I was like, this guy's gonna do something.
Other witnesses say the incident strayed from the peace they felt at the memorial scene over the last week, and it does not stop Kirk's message from spreading. In the meantime, police tell us that Coral is now facing charges of criminal damage as well as disorderly conduct.
Yeah. Does that guy deserve to be assassinated? That kid? No. Does that kid deserve to have his ass whooped? Yes. Yep. Sorry. All right. So, and then there's the Iowa scooter thing, and what was the other one? I can't remember the other one. Another similar thing to that. People have been posting all over social media, laughing and joking about this, and we've seen. I don't know if I saved it. Before we get into the conspiracies. I don't know if I saved it. Anyway, I've been seeing there's a website that's been set up now where you can report all the people that are laughing about it or joking about it or encouraging things like this, and they're mass notifying people's jobs. This is it was a topic on VK the other night. It's a tough one. Is firing somebody for maybe making a joke about this or laughing about this or encouraging stuff like this on social media, is firing them justified? And it's tough because I come to the conclusion, I'm a free market capitalist, that if you're a business owner and you have hired somebody, or you're looking to hire somebody, and you find out that they support a guy getting assassinated in cold blood in front of his family, in front of the world, if you support that, you should not have to hire that person, and you should be able to fire that person because you disagree with that. So is it justified for somebody to fire that employee? Yes. Do I like the mass reporting to people's works that they posted a distasteful meme on the internet? No, I don't like that. I don't like when people mass report somebody that they've never met to get them fired from their job. If the business owner sees it on social media and wants to fire that person, I'm totally okay with that. Do I think we should be mass reporting people's works when they do something like this on the internet? No. But I know it's going to happen. and I don't think you can do anything to stop it. But we're kind of just playing the cancel culture game that the left was playing. And what happens when they're back in power and you get fired because you shared a George Floyd meme? I know that George Floyd and the Charlie Kirk situation are not comparable. They're not even close to the same thing. But this is the way the lefties think. So we're internally critiquing a lefty's brain, how they think. You got to make yourself a little retarded. But if we do it, they see this the same as somebody who's making fun of George Floyd after he died, or making a meme about George Floyd. That's the way they see it. So nobody's going to have a job, you know? And maybe people just need to not be on the internet if they can lose their job for something. Just get off the internet. Cat is playing the cancel Chuck game. My friend just got back from a vigil near us. He said there was 1,000 people there. Nice. The fire starter is the only one trying to burn a vigil on personal property. Firestarter is the other one. I have not seen that. No, there was something else that I saw. I can't remember what I'm thinking of. Well, that Mike Dowell guy got fired. So as far as the canceling stuff, the Mike Dowell guy got fired. The TMZ stuff. South Park episode got pulled. A comic book. I don't have that article, but one of DC Comics, I guess, comic book creators is like a transgender activist. I forget her name. It's not that important of a story, but she had a comic book called Black Hood, and he, whatever it is, that person got fired. Is that an MSI tower? Yes. Yeah, it's an MSI case and an MSI motherboard. That's what that thing, the dragon that's glowing, that's a graphics card stabilizer that has lights in it that came with the case. But anyway, MSI 300, I can't remember the name of it. The assistant dean at the university in my town got fired over her very inappropriate comments on social media. Yep. I saw a couple teachers. One teacher showed a video of the assassination to his class, and he got fired. And he was talking about the dangers of fascism. What happens if you're a fascist? Crazy. Craziness. I use MSI Aegis myself. Yeah, it's an MSI motherboard. I built it. I built this computer. We did it on stream. It took like 12 hours, but I built it. Freedom of speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences, though. Yeah. I agree. I don't think anybody should be killed for speech. But, you know, you might get punched in the mouth. But the problem is when you say punch a Nazi and you call everybody who supports Trump a Nazi, that's a problem. I don't think Charlie ever said, like, but see, I try to put myself in like these liberal shoes. He said a lot of things that if I was them, I would want to punch him. But not assassinate somebody. I don't know, man. It's crazy. All right, let's get into the conspiracies. It's conspiracy time. So, I got like 5 to go over. There's going to be more. I think I got 5. Where's my notes? There it is. 5 conspiracy theories, the most popular ones that I've seen so far. First was Hat Man. We'll do Hat Man. We'll do Sky Valdez theory. We'll do first suspect arrested. The old man. I thought I wrote his name down somewhere. Hopefully I have it in the article here. His real name and the fake name. Ring theory. And then the meaning of the bullets. We've already went over the meaning of the shell casing inscriptions. But all right, first was Hat Man theory. So the first crazy theory I saw, and this one was pissing me off. And this was before I knew who the guy in the hat was. After I knew who the guy in the hat was, it makes me even more annoyed that people are spreading this stupid theory. The idea is that one of the guys standing behind Charlie to his right touches his hat and then like touches his face, and then the other security guy with glasses behind him touches his arm. And people are saying this is messaging to the shooter to take the shot. This is the theory. It's not this guy. Hold on. Where is it? I thought I had Frank Turek's response. Okay, here we go. So the guy in the white hat was Frank Turek. If you don't know who Frank Turek is, then you don't watch enough Christian apologetics. You don't watch enough Christian debates. He's very popular. He does shows at college campuses like this, but it's all about Christianity, defending Christianity. He does debates. He's a smart old guy. He was the guy wearing the hat. He's come out with a response to this. I have to go do stuff. Cool hanging out with you for a while. Catch you later. Later, Grib. I'll have to come on one of your debate shows or something at some point. One of your panels. I just work. And I'm set in my ways, but have to branch out a little bit. Anyway, who is Frank Turek? Charlie Kirk's close associate issues statement amid swirling hand signal conspiracy shooting theory. Conspiracy theory about a man in white giving mysterious hand signals are shut down after many clarify that it was Charlie Kirk's friend, Dr. Frank Turek. A statement has also been issued from Turek's social media accounts now. Let me find a quick video of who Frank Turek is in case you guys are unfamiliar. Let's just find a short.
Why?
You'll remember Frank Turek if you watched the Is Moses Sinning movie.
Whoa, new bombshell information released today.
Stop, JLR. Calm down. If you watched the Is Moses Sinning video that I did a couple weeks ago, that's Frank. This is Frank Turek.
Why don't the Egyptians record Moses?
Record Moses.
I mean, yeah, I think you touched on this. Like,
Yeah.
they don't really talk about people who are adversaries. And
Right. That's part of it, but there is a figure in Egyptian history known
as Sinning. Yeah, we played this not too long ago. So that's Frank Turek. Cross-Examined, the YouTube channel Cross-Examined is like his organization. They're pretty big. So that was the white hat guy. So his statement, Charlie Kirk was assassinated. Conspiracy theories began flying around claiming to determine the motive behind the shooting and details surrounding it. One conspiracy theory stemmed from a man captured in the video in which apparently showed hand signals that convinced people that those were military signals.
I'm going to give you some credit. Do you know how
So he touches his hat,
many mass shooters there have been
touches his cheek.
in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not?
And then this guy pulls
Not
the
counting
sleeve
gang
up on his shirt.
Violence.
Okay, the shot's about to happen. I don't know if they show it in this video, but this is the post from Frank Turek. The viral accusations against Dr. Frank Turek are categorically false. Dr. Turek was at Utah Valley University as part of Charlie Kirk's team, standing with him as a close friend and mentor. Their bond was marked by deep respect and unwavering support. So this is one of the theories, is that Frank Turek was giving signals to the shooter. I think this is unfounded. I think it's nonsense. I'm going to classify this one as debunked, not true. Stop spreading it. But people are still they're still gonna think he was related, especially when you can tie this to the small hat theory, which will be the last one we go over, because of course every conspiracy theory's got to lead to the small hats. I don't agree with that. I'm just saying that's being sarcastic. We saw the Sky Valdez theory. Now, Hindustan Times and Economic Times reported on this. So I've got both articles here. So I'm not trying to like dox this person if they're totally unrelated. I think it's possible this still could be related. Maybe he at least knew this person. Because apparently everything here is true, except for the fact that this person's related or connected to the killer, to the shooter. But what was that alert? Hey, thank you for subscribing, whoever that was. I missed your name, but thank you. Social media users claim a song titled Charlie Kirk Dead at 31 was uploaded to SoundCloud in August of 2025 by a Utah-based musician named Sky Valdez. Charlie Kirk, a right-wing activist and close ally of President Trump, was fatally shot while speaking on Wednesday. As the manhunt continues, speculation has emerged online about a SoundCloud song titled Charlie Kirk Dead at 31. They claim that Valdez's SoundCloud profile originally listed Ogden, Utah as the location and was later changed to Leave Me Alone following the shooting. To be sure, this is just speculation by unverified handles on social media. There is no evidence connecting Valdez with the killing, and neither Valdez nor anyone close to the family has publicly responded. Some social media users went as far to claim that Valdez is a person of interest in the case, but these claims remain unverified. So, again, we have no sure connection, but when you look at this person's, social media presence, 4chan Fight Club, Death to All Utah Screamo. The band is called God's Finest Scalpel, and the album was called, what was the album called? The album was called something like Eat America or Hate America or something like that. Dead in June, Charlie Kirk Dead at 31. Charlie Kirk's death isn't enough for me. Digital album, Nothing Ever Happens. Death to American Scum is the name of the album. God's Finest Scalpel is the band. This person's social media was scrubbed after these accusations came out. They took down all their social media. See, a lot of this was like early stuff.
Pride flag set up for this year. I use warm lighting.
A lot of these early conspiracy theories. Charlie Kirk is coming to my college tomorrow. I really hope someone evaporates him. Literally, let's just say something big will happen tomorrow. I think that they're going to find out that a large ring of people knew about this. And a lot of these early speculations might turn out to be connected. Maybe these people were in the Discord group. Maybe they knew them. I don't know yet. We're going to find out more, I'm sure. And hopefully we get a lot more arrests. Anybody who knew about this, anybody who was online encouraging it, talking about it, gassing up the shooter, needs to be arrested. And I think we're going to see more arrests. That's my guess. And I've been pretty accurate so far on my guesses. So that's the Sky Valdez theory. We talked about the Hat Man theory. The first suspect. So George Zinn was the name of the 77-year-old man, or 71 or 77, 71, that they arrested in the crowd. There was rumors swirling and theories that he said, I shot him or shoot me. I heard some people say that he said, I shot him or I'm the shooter. Some people said he said, shoot me. His name was George Zinn, 71. Did not match the description of the shooter. Images rapidly circulated online Wednesday showing police escorting an older man away from the fatal shooting of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, and many Utahns recognized him as occasionally ubiquitous activist George Zinn, 71. State law enforcement officials late Wednesday said he was taken into custody on suspicion of obstruction of justice and ultimately released. Another person was also detained in connection with the shooting but was later released. I have not found anything on that second person that was detained. It might have been the guy who was cheering. I think he was questioned. It could be somebody else. The guy that was cheering said that he was trying to cause a distraction so that people could escape. Sounds like BS to me, but anyway, he was let go. This is the 71-year-old man. Salt Lake Tribune's attempts to reach Zinn were unsuccessful. Attorneys who represented Zinn in a misdemeanor case earlier this year also did not respond to requests. Zinn is known for showing up and occasionally disrupting or being arrested at events ranging from political speeches to the Sundance Film Festival to various protests. He holds the distinction of being the first person thrown out by security at the swanky City Creek Center Mall when it first opened in downtown Salt Lake in March 2012. That's the mall. That's our mall, fancy mall downtown that got looted when BLM riots were happening. Anyway, so his name is George Zinn. That's the 71-year-old guy. People are trying to tie him in, saying he was a distraction to get people not looking at where the shot really came from, to get them looking at him. The fact that he's an activist like this, I don't know that we can really rule this one totally out yet. But I think it seems pretty debunked, like he's just a crazy old guy. The part of the conspiracy theory I can debunk is that it is not this guy. This guy is a guy from Toronto whose social media information was doxed as being the 71-year-old man in the crowd and calling him the shooter. So this is a random guy that was never been in Utah in his life, they connected him somehow to George Zinn, and Michael Mallison, 77, retired banker living in Toronto, found himself unwillingly thrust into the center of a political firestorm after being falsely linked to the shooting of right-wing commentator Charlie Kirk on Wednesday. Michael Mallison, 77, had no idea what was happening until he got a panicked phone call around 6 p.m. while he was taking a nap. It was his daughter instructing him to delete his social media because his name and photo were being spread online by an account claiming he was the suspect in the shooting. Mallison says he's never stepped foot in Utah. So this guy got connected. That part we can debunk. It had nothing to do with this guy in Toronto. Probably had nothing to do with George Zinn either. I feel pretty confident that he was not connected to this. He's just a crazy old guy, an activist. I've said this before, it's not new. I had a horrible MySpace name back in the day. I mean, it's kind of funny. It was horribly insensitive. I would never know it was. What are you talking about, Auntie? What the? Let me see. Are we gonna get a? We're gonna get an ad.
Suddenly, my name is out there in the worst of circumstances. You don't know what the repercussions may be.
Since he's retired from a long banking career, Michael Mallinson's life has been filled with rowing, gardening, and as of Wednesday, being wrongly accused of murder. When conservative activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed in broad daylight and a manhunt for the killer ensued, people on social media did what they do best, sharing their theories, whether true or not.
Woke up from having a nap. We'd had a very busy day yesterday, and we received a phone call from my youngest daughter, Zandra, and she was telling me in a bit of a panicked way that I had to delete all my social media accounts.
This happened.
So this is George Zinn. This is the actual guy that was there, not Michael Mallison.
And after a video was uploaded of a man who was briefly detained at the shooting scene. Michael's only crime was bearing a slight resemblance to him. Suddenly, people were sharing Mallinson's photo on social media, identifying him as a Democrat from Utah who shot Kirk.
I hadn't heard of the shooting, and I've never heard of Charlie Kirk, so this was just shock and horror.
It appears the now-deleted post originated from a fake Fox News affiliate account and spread like wildfire from there.
So there's almost a playbook at this point.
This guy looks like him.
When there's a really big, shocking news event that happens.
Craig Silverman researches online rumors and fake news.
People have an opportunity now through just reading and scanning and doing different types of searches, or sometimes using the tools that are out there to kind of go off on their own. And in some ways that's great because there are some really good amateur internet investigators, but there's tons of ways to use the tools and the information available to go off in a completely wrong direction. And
Yep. Okay. My articles are out of order here. These are more of the cancels. Teacher accused of showing 10-year-old's Charlie Kirk assassination video during anti-fascism rant. We talked about that. Charlie Kirk allegedly, this is a Breitbart headline, crazy, assassinated by 22-year-old with trans partner while answering questions about trans shooters. More about the furry boyfriend. Charlie Kirk assassination suspect had furry fixation, and his trans boyfriend proclaimed support for Biden on social media. We have more conspiracies. I just wanted to show this. This is a post from Dinesh D'Souza talking about how college corrupts people. If you have any doubt about the responsibility of academia in turning relatively normal kids into monsters, I give you arrest suspect Tyler Robinson. This is him before going to college.
Okay. Congratulations. You have been selected to receive the Resident Presidential Scholarship from Utah State University. The value of this scholarship is approximately $32,000. This scholarship is available for 4 years or 8 semesters.
So he's just got a touch of the tism a little bit, a little weird. The trans writer Gretchen Felkner Markin's Red Hood was canceled after he celebrated Charlie Kirk's assassination. I'm glad Breitbart put he. This is why I like Breitbart. Trans writer Gretchen, that's a he, got fired. We talked about all this. I just need to, okay, we'll save that. Okay, we covered the Sky. We covered the Sky Valadez theory. We covered the Hat Man. We covered the first suspect, that situation. I don't have information on the second suspect. I think it may have been the dude that you see cheering. I believe that guy was questioned and released, so he may be the second suspect. Then the third suspect is the actual shooter, alleged actual shooter. We have one more theory, the ring theory. Well, two more theories. The ring theory, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. Charlie, basically, at one point you see him holding the mic and his ring is on this finger. And then after the shooting, his ring is on his pinky finger. There's plenty of videos of Charlie fidgeting with his ring, taking it off, holding it, putting it on different fingers. He constantly did that. So basically that's what explains that. I don't know what people were trying to argue with this one. I guess people were trying to say that he was alive or something, or there was a body switch or something. I don't know. People are kind of retarded on the internet nowadays. I don't know. This is a dumb one, but
Sweet.
Charlie Kirk's social impact was marked in life and now in death. He continues to drive online discussion. Some of it even speculating about whether he has actually been killed, while most have been quick to accept Kirk is another victim in the United States history of political violence. There are some that are skeptical of the fact that he is dead. One such circulating was that the graphic videos of his shooting were faked. And this comes from the ring theory. This belief stemmed from a video showing a ring that was seen on Kirk's ring finger. When Kirk is then shot, it's on his pinky finger. You see him regularly fiddling with his ring. So it's on this finger. Now it's on his pinky finger. So this is after the shot was taken. And as he's coming up, I believe, right before I think. Anyway, this is the whole theory. It's dumb. Basically, in one shot, his ring is on one finger, and then in the next shot, his ring is on the other finger. Hold on, you guys can't see that very good. Basically, that's the idea is that the video is faked. Maybe it's AI or something, that this is the real video. Then they go to the fake video, the ring's on a different finger. But there's plenty of evidence in the past of Charlie constantly fidgeting with his ring. If you've ever watched any of these, you see him do it all the time. Holding it, looking at it, playing with it. So that theory's debunked. That theory's stupid. If you're spreading the ring theory, you're probably an idiot. It's a stemming thing. Everybody does it to a degree. That's what shaking your leg or bobbing a knee is. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. Last but not least,
Charlie had told his close friends, and a lot of it concerned the pressure that was being put on him by Israeli billionaires.
The one that I got to be careful about, the Israel theory. So every time something like this happens, every conspiracy theory, people will always find a way to tie it back to Israel. It's just something, if you're in the conspiracy world, which I'm in, I've gone down many a rabbit holes. You see it a lot. A lot of them are valid. A lot of these connections are valid, but this is something that we'll never know, you know? And I don't know. This is probably the one that has the most credence, but they usually are. I think this is a dumb Antifa, far left, radicalized, college, furry loving, LGBT loving kid. I don't think there was any like Mossad backing to this, or that he was, because if you make the connection that, oh, it's because leading up to his death, Charlie was questioning some things. Charlie, TPUSA, I believe they got $500 million from financial backers to start and run and make TPUSA into a success. I know people will say it was a grassroots movement. It's not a grassroots movement. They got a lot of funding from some big NGOs and some big backers who were probably, you know, of a certain ethnic, cultural, genetic background. But basically, people are jumping on the Israel stuff. Candace Owens, Ian Carroll did a full video about this, and he went into some interesting stuff. I think I have his video. No, I don't. I have it saved, but it's not in here. I'm not an Ian Carroll fan, but he did it. Candace touched on it in her reaction video or whatever, the video she did talking about her friendship with Charlie. You should listen to her, because she had a really close relationship with him. Her reaction to all this was pretty good, but she touched on it. 2 days after it happened, she touched on it. She said he was starting to question things later in life. We split up because of the direction I went in relation to Israel. That's why Candace split from TPUSA. One of the reasons is because she was starting to question them too much. And she said Charlie was young, and as he was, getting into his 30s, he started to question some of these things. And I have the Megyn Kelly interview here. And basically the idea of this theory is he was their golden boy. Israel put a lot of money into TPUSA and funded TPUSA. Charlie was always a big backer for Israel, ties to the Groyper Wars. That's why the Groyper Wars happened, is because of his strong support for Israel and the accusation of how are you American first? If you're so much for funding Israel, how are you American first? Is the simple question, but it gets into deeper questions that a lot of people don't like having brought up. Charlie was starting to ask those questions. Tim Dillon goes into it pretty deep here.
Charlie began openly questioning Israel in a way that was very alarming to Israel. And in the wake of the emotions left by your death, your murder, he wasn't just warning about the dangers of a war with Iran. He was warning about how they were pushing for regime change in Iran in order to benefit Israel.
Glenn Greenwald revealed that shortly prior to Charlie Kirk's assassination, he was beginning to turn against Israel. And
Glenn Greenwald talked about it. Tim Dillon talked about it. And then a lot of the videos people are referencing, I can't watch the whole thing here. Oh, I wish I had a timestamp on this. But Charlie says in this interview with Megyn Kelly, he talks about, was Epstein potentially a Mossad agent? We need the Epstein files released because we need to know if Israel built Epstein. And Charlie talks to Megyn Kelly and he asks about this.
Love you.
So, Megan, you're here on a slow news day.
Nothing's going on. Has anyone been on X in the past hour?
I don't have a timestamp for this.
They're happy. That's why they haven't
That's
been
right.
on social media.
We'll update you.
Why don't you update them, Megan?
How do I find the transcript?
Well, this is the first big scandal, I'd say, of the Trump administration that's on Team Rational. It's not a fake media scandal like the left tries to create for President Trump every other day. It's one of the right's own making, and it's not going well. And it has to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Let me just ask you, make some noise if you care about the Jeffrey Epstein scandal.
Raise your hand if it matters a lot to you. Raise your hand. So every hand of 7,000 people.
Everybody cares. I think
A lot. I said a lot. Every hand.
Here's what I think is happening. I don't think President Trump is focused on this. He's focused on a lot of other things which are going great, and he needs to be focused on those other things. Jeffrey Epstein's not the most. They've kept their mouths shut about Epstein. You have not seen them, except for one joint appearance with Dan and Cash on Fox, running all over the media looking for attention on this, yes, clickbaity story. Who have you seen? Pam Bondi. She has never missed an opportunity to go on television and dangle sweet nothings that might be coming your way. Try to lead you to believe that she's got it, it's on her desk, it's coming tomorrow, you're gonna see something on Epstein. And it was a tease. So you either believe that Pam Bondi was telling the truth then, or that she's telling the truth now, but both cannot be true. She was either lying when she went on Fox News all those times.
I'm scrubbing through the transcript trying to see when he mentions intelligence.
I'm saying, I've got it, we're looking at it, wait until you see it, it's horrible. Or she's lying in her 2-page memo that they released on a Sunday night at the tail end of a holiday weekend to Axios, as if Axios is where we all go for our news. Hell no. She went to someone she knew would not kick the tires on the story, and without signing the memo, dropped it in the dead of night and said, that's it, take the crumbs and be happy. Refused to come out and give a presser, come out and give a press conference, stand there for 6 hours to the point where people are dying of boredom. They've asked all their questions. That's how you put a scandal to rest. But she wouldn't even sign her name to it. And I'm telling you, I have dollars to donuts, it's going to come out that there was internal consternation over that memo and whose name did and did not go on it and who it was and was not behind it. And so now you have a situation where her continued to tout that she had something. She was going to get that FBI file. Then she got caught by James O'Keefe on hidden camera saying she had tens of thousands of videos of Epstein and little children. It was like, what? Well, we never heard that. We heard he was into the barely legal type, you know.
Down on the videos. Is that correct, Megan?
Yes, now she's tripled down.
Epstein was not the perp in every one of those videos.
So because they've been so ambiguous,
no, but like,
we're
let's
not
just
sure.
think about this. Unless we're led to believe that Epstein himself personally raped all these kids, children, or whatever, then isn't the statute of limitations on child rape like basically infinite?
Well,
so then why are we not indicting the people that were doing the raping that we have on video? Like, what's that all about?
Yeah.
No, you know this better than I do. Not impaneling a special prosecutor to find every single one of these powerful people that went after these kids. Like, what? Why are we putting up with this?
Yeah, I don't know. And I think you'll find out.
Am I understanding this correctly? Because I don't even remember.
I can't answer that.
I don't
because
even
she
know
won't tell
Pam
us.
Bondi said that. I can't even remember all this because it's all over. I got a thing on my desk. I got truckloads of stuff.
Yeah, no, we all have busy lives, and President Trump has a busy life, and I don't think he realizes how much she's humiliated the administration. This is a self-inflicted wound. She caused it.
Isn't there a way to search for certain words? Isn't it like Control F or something? Mossad, 1 of 5. They're going to highlight them. Turning point, Epstein, M16, Saudi, or Mossad. He said he would guess Mossad, giving Epstein's link to Ghislaine Maxwell. Is it highlighting it for me? Where is it? How do I, what is these little marks? Huh. I don't know. It's in there somewhere. A turning point, Jeffrey Epstein scandal, shocking Trump. Kirk allegedly spectates that Epstein may have been tied to foreign intelligence, M16 Saudi or Mossad. He says he would guess Mossad. So that's one of the things people are pointing to. I should have got the timestamp before. My bad, guys. I fired my production team and my writers and my editors. Everybody got fired. We're solo dolo now. He doubled down on this in this video. Hold on.
Martyred. There's no question he's been martyred. But the question is, why? You did this for money.
Ah. What time is it? I gotta go soon. Anyway, the Israel connection thing, it's a deep one. It's gonna go on for a long time. There's gonna be a lot more to talk about with that one. You know, people are gonna be talking about this for years. They're lying about Charlie Kirk. See, Candace, I said this as soon as Candace did her apology video. I was like, oh, she's going to be on a tear. She's going to be on a tear about Israel being involved. And that's the one that's going to stick, I think. That's the one that people are going to go on about for a while. As far as the trans relation, I don't think that's a conspiracy theory. I think that's pretty much confirmed, even if he's not a T person himself. Probably related to that. Now, this was this morning. I don't know how true this is yet, but apparently DNA, they've got DNA. DNA found. That's what JLR Investigates is saying here.
Today, by the FBI director about the Charlie Kirk assassination. The shooter's DNA.
I'll be right back. I gotta go to the bathroom.
At the crime scene. A note found inside the apartment that the shooter shared with his trans transgender boyfriend. Come on in, folks. JLR investigates continuous coverage of the terrible assassination of Charlie Kirk. Tyler Robinson arrested. This guy right here, Lance Twiggs, most likely under federal investigation for sure. They found Tyler Robinson's DNA on a screwdriver left on top of the building, the UVU building where the assassination occurred. From the building, Tyler Robinson shot and killed Charlie Kirk. And then they found his DNA on the towel that was wrapped around the murder weapon found in the woods nearby. They also found a note inside the apartment that Tyler Robinson shared with his boyfriend Lance Twiggs, by the way, which is owned by Lance Twiggs' grandfather, Jerry Twiggs. It's a townhome apartment. It's owned by the Twiggs family. They found a note in there saying his intent and opportunity to kill Charlie Kirk. Kash Patel speaks. I want to share this information. His words, Kash Patel, the FBI director. I feel like there's going to be federal charges here imminent, soon. Check it out.
Charlie Kirk's murder suspect refusing to cooperate as the FBI discovers new details about his dark digital footprint before he makes his first court appearance tomorrow.
All right, FBI Director Kash Patel joins us now. I can't imagine, Mr. Director, how busy you've been, especially Charlie Kirk isn't just a impactful person, he's your friend. So I understand that. But having said that, people are looking to you to find out is how big this investigation is going to be. Can you tell us the latest?
Absolutely. It's so good to be with you. And you're right. My personal feelings and relationship with Charlie, I have a job to do for the American people, and I'm committed to do it for President Trump. We flexed all resources the FBI had and surged multiple air assets as soon as this shooting occurred. We were cycling in agents, evidence response technicians, hostage rescue technicians, and special operators in and out of Utah, cycling evidence back and forth on these FBI planes as soon as we could so that there was no delay. And what we did once I got there, along with the deputy on the ground around 5 p.m. local on September 11th, was walk the entire crime scene, including the foots the suspect himself took. And what we learned was there was evidence, DNA evidence that could be collected and had been collected, including a screwdriver that was found on the rooftop. Also, we went over to the scene in the wooded area where the firearm was discarded. And the firearm had a towel wrapped around it. It's important. I'll get back to that later. I even walked into the wooded area in the ravine, so I knew from my investigative experience what I could bring to the table and what decisions I needed to make. And having the support of President Trump and the full support of the White House was what we needed for these resources to happen.
There's two people
and
walking right
over here. I can report today that the DNA hits from the towel that was wrapped around the firearm and the DNA on the screwdriver are positively processed for the suspect in custody.
So, Mr. Director, that is vital. That is breaking news and vital information, because now you have the casings for the gun. So you connect the gun. Now you got his DNA on it. That's huge. But I also want to get to another part.
I just got to interrupt. Sorry, I just got to interrupt. We have the DNA on the screwdriver that was found on the rooftop and the towel that the firearm was wrapped in. The firearm itself, this is a great point. Thanks for raising it.
Yeah, no problem.
That is being processed by ATF laboratories in Maryland, and I believe they'll speak to that at a later date when their process is incomplete. But I just want to let you know the FBI handled the screwdriver and the towel found on the scene.
That is important clarification, Mr. Director. I want to get to the...
Okay. So DNA on the screwdriver, DNA on the towel, gun still being processed. They should be able to find fingerprint evidence. Was he wearing gloves? Cash looks like a scared imposter. I think that's just the way he looks, guys. I think I'm also not a Kash Patel fan, but I think he just looks like that. I think that's just the way his eyes look. He always looks like a deer in the headlights. But anyway, guys, I have so much more. Like, this was one of the biggest folders I've put together for a show. Usually I can cover 3 news stories in about an hour and a half, 3 main story news stories for the week. we couldn't even get to there was a Denver shooting. Not Denver, but there was a shooting in Colorado, Evergreen, I believe. And that was also a radicalized student, politically radicalized, at least from what they're saying. And I haven't had time to thoroughly deep dive into that one, but we were going to talk about the Epstein letter from Trump was released, the one that the Wall Street Journal wrote about a while back. We don't have time for that. And it looks like there's nothing new. It is what we thought it was, assuming it's real. There was also the Colorado school shooting. We were going to talk about that. Since last week, the uncut footage of the Irina Zarutska, the uncut footage came out because I did that show last week. And then the next day, the uncut footage came out. And then the next day, the Charlie Kirk stuff happened. So we just got slammed with tragedy after tragedy. One of Charlie Kirk's last posts on X was a picture of, because once the uncut footage of the Irina girl got released, you see her looking up at the guy cowering over her with the knife. And Charlie said, America is gone, or America's in trouble, or something like that. One of his last posts on X was an image of her with him standing over her after the uncut footage was released. I had a whole folder put together of FBI crime statistics and how in 2021 they changed the way that they keep crime statistics, and they started focusing, instead of on races who commit crime, they started focusing on hate crimes. But the problem with hate crimes, as we all know, is if you're a certain race, you can't do a hate crime. Only white people can do hate crimes. It's very hard to do a hate crime if you're certain marginalized races. Only straight white Christian people can do hate crimes. And in 2021, after George Floyd, the FBI switched to they started keeping their crime statistics different due to the system errors of updating to the new system. We got crime statistics out that year saying that crime was down under Joe Biden in LA, New York, Chicago, Florida. Turns out that was all BS. Crime was not down, it was up. But due to the system switch, they didn't have full information on a lot of places. And now to this day, they still don't. The way they're tracking crime statistics now will not give you an accurate picture of who and where the crime is happening. But we were going to talk about that. I put together a whole folder on race-based crime statistics. I thought we were going to be talking more about racism and about crime, but we covered a lot of that last week. But then the uncut footage of that girl came out, and it kind of reignited it. But now with this, that's been kind of put on the back burner. There were other interesting stories this week. I just don't have time to get to them. We didn't do a meme review this week, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, guys. I had 40 files in this folder: videos, X posts, Facebook posts, websites, articles. I have 40 files in this folder, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. I have tons more. So we will definitely be doing updates on this on the Dreaded Conservative show. But I figured, let's spend the whole 3 hours talking about this and going through it from beginning to end, all the conspiracy theories, all the cultural and media backlash and stuff that's happening, important aspects of the case, from the furry boyfriend to the shell casing inscriptions. We covered pretty much the timeline, the whole essential events of what happened. More information is going to come out, and I'll keep you guys updated on all that. And I'm going to be putting together an Obsidian note file where I'm gathering all the sources, all the information. I'm going to make the most comprehensive timeline. I'm going to put it all together and basically make this epic obsidian note with everything, all the information in it. Maybe one day write a book about this, because people are going to be writing books about this. And so I'm going to be following along very closely for all of this. But yeah, we could dig through stuff for 10 hours right now. But I only have 3 hours. I got to go to work. So next week we'll be back to business as usual on the show. We'll get meme review. I had some memes, but we'll save them for next week. We'll be back to meme review, rapid fire news, funny, interesting news, and all that stuff next week. But I'll keep you guys updated on all this. But I do have to go. I got to go walk Echo, and I got to go to work. Let me see somebody I can redirect you to. Who's live? This is more than the Grace folder. Crucible doesn't need a raid. Robert, Jim Bob. We'll go to Rob. How is Echo feeling? Not good. He still hasn't pooped or eaten. I tried giving him some pumpkin pie mix with some baby Pepto crushed up into it. He won't eat it. He won't eat anything. Everything I read, and my neighbors downstairs, they do dog training classes. They train dogs. They have a ton of cats too. But she said get some canned pumpkin and try that. And then Kat said try Pepto. So I crushed up a chewable Pepto tablet, like a half of one of them, and crushed it up and mixed it with some pumpkin. And I can't get him to eat it. I can't get him to eat anything. He seems fine. He just pants a lot, but he walks around very lethargically, and he's still drinking water. I think he's drinking extra water. He drinks out of the toilet. There's no like bleach or anything in the toilet, but he's just been very thirsty because all he can do is drink. But I don't know. Some plain brewed green tea with a little honey. Try canned pumpkin, not pie filling. I think that's what it is. It's 100% pumpkin pie is the best pie. Let him go outside and see if he eats grass. Usually he does when he's feeling sick, but I don't know. He won't eat anything. I want him to eat some grass. He won't even eat the grass. But anyway, I got to take him out, and then I got to head to work. So God bless you guys. We'll send you over to Rob Knorr. Tell him JS sent you, and I will catch you guys probably in the morning. We need to read Esther. We need to get back to business as usual. We need to read Esther for the ladies. Some Bible reading for the ladies. Plain white rice, tried that. I put some chicken with it to get him to want to eat it because he loves chicken. He ate like 2 little pieces of chicken, but he wouldn't eat the rice. He won't eat the pumpkin. He won't eat nothing. But anyway, love you, in love with you. What the? All right, guys, we gotta go. Dreaded Conservative, Monday nights, kicking the week off right. The world's a crazy place. I just report on it. If you like it, tell a friend. If you hate it, tell everybody. I will see you guys later. Doses.